hating so bad right now. They're hating so bad. Okay, so I have to tell a good guy story. All right. So
let me think.
Tommy by the beach. I have to go straight to Tommy by the beach because Tommy was such a gentleman. When I tell you I would have married this man, and when he dumped me, I literally was like, no, it's me or death. Like, it's you can't leave me, Tommy. You've been the best I've ever had. Like, Tommy, if you're watching this, I still love you. Call me. So basically,
Tommy.
So basically, we went and, like, of course, I have a soft spot for engineers. My brothers are engineers.
Oh, mine too.
Really?
Civil engineer.
That's so, my brothers are civil. I have two brothers that are civil engineers. You have a brother that's a civil engineer. That's
What?
crazy. I did not know that.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah. So, like, Tommy by the beach was an engineer, and he treated me so, he's a Southern gentleman. He's from North Carolina. He treated me so well. When I tell you, this man lived an hour and a half from me and did not mind driving an hour and a half to pick me up, take me out on this wonderful date that he planned, that he paid for, drop me back home, asked me out again the next time, he spent like $700 on a steakhouse dinner by the beach for me, and he was just like whining and dining me everywhere we went. He just like whined and dined me. I spent his birthday with him. We went to the beach every day. Like, he was just such an amazing gentleman. I guess I get a little bit clingy, so maybe the clinginess scared him off.
Self-reflection happening.
But like, don't you want to be clingy with a guy that, like, who, like, is so nice to you, because you've met so many assholes. You've met so many guys who are so terrible that when you meet a good one, you just, like, want to cling because you're like, oh no, I can't, like, nobody else can have you, Tommy. Yeah. It's me or nobody, So, like, that's why. But
I think that's why we have to check ourselves with our boundaries too, because it's hard not to. You find somebody that's great and you're like, I want to spend all my time with you. Like, you're incredible. You're amazing. You make me smile. You make me feel good. You make me feel beautiful. You take me out. You do, like, whatever. It's like you feel that it's like an addiction. It's like a drug addiction. So I understand, but it's like, that's why we have to set boundaries with ourselves and be like, I do want to text him like 20 times today, but I'm going to, like, maybe cut that in half, maybe cut that in half again, and then just take it slow for a while. But it's hard. I get it. Like, I'm
so hard. And when you've been in a drought, where, like, every guy you dated has been so horrible
and married
so, like, you have to pace yourself. You have to have those boundaries. You have to have those things in place. Have other hobbies. Do something to take your mind off. And this is why I have a roster. Literally, the reason why I have a roster is because it's so that, because our emotions, sometimes as women, like, our emotions get so tied up in a good thing that we start fantasizing a future. Like, me and Tom are gonna have 10 kids by the beach. Like, all these things. Oh yeah. And I'm just like, okay, wait, calm down, calm down. And so my roster keeps my emotions in check, because he's not the only guy that's treated me well. He's not the only guy that's going to be treating me well. Like, when I have 2 or 3 guys on my roster who are treating me well, I can divide my big emotions 3 to 6 ways, because that's my roster, 3 to 6.
You're a busy woman.
I'm a busy woman.
I can only handle one at a time. It's exhausting for me, but
Good for you, Chloe.
I'm a one-man woman.
Okay, whoa. I am a one-woman.
One-man woman.
You know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
I'm totally about monogamy.
But you're careful about narrowing it down to that one man.
Right.
That makes sense.
What I do is I really focus on getting to a point to where we're exclusive and we're in a relationship and I can drop my roster. Like, the moment that I find my man, I'm changing my number, because too many guys have my number. And I'm like, I just don't want, like, everybody to be calling me, and, like, because, like, guys will always leave the door open. I've noticed, like, girls love closure. Guys don't. They love leaving the door open so that they can come back 2 months or 2 years later and, like, nothing happened. Like, it's normal. Mm-hmm. It is not normal for you to just, like, hit me up after we already had our thing 2 years later and we ended badly. You already know we ended badly, but you're going to hit me up 2 years later for what? It's disrespectful, because you're basically saying, oh, you must still be in the same place mentally or spiritually to accept me back 2 years later. You haven't done any growing for yourself. You haven't done anything for yourself. So maybe that's what I just feel like it's disrespect. So don't do that unless you're Tommy by the beach or somebody else who's treating me well.
Or you're J-Lo and Ben Affleck,
20 years later.
20 years later. Yeah. I mean, there are exceptions to the rule, I'm sure. But, like, if it ends, like, so brutally like that, where there's disrespect, it's like, was there work done in the interim? Like, did you become a different person? Like, are you working on yourself? Are you going to therapy? Oh, that's a number one. I forgot to mention that on my list on the qualities I look for a man. I hope he's in therapy. Well, he better be. He better be in therapy.
Qualities. Okay, I didn't say any of the qualities. Okay, these are my qualities for men that I look for, aside from money, because everybody's like, you're money hungry. No, aside from money, because I want him to be a provider, because that's what I'm looking for. My dad was a provider. But like,
and that's fair, by the way. I know a lot of people want to come down on you for that, for like, you know, a man should provide like whatever. This is an outdated way of thinking. Like, no, it is your preference.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Yes, you can be somebody that's like, okay, one of my biggest crushes is Mike Johnson from The Bachelor. And I listened to him on a podcast, and he said something about how like, if he's in a relationship, whoever's making the most money will pay a little bit more. And I'm like, that's his preference.
Right.
I thought that was like really cool, because obviously in today's world, like, women are not being paid equally.
I know.
We're not being treated equally. And so where's the balance?
Exactly.
Where is that balance going to be? So I think it's wonderful that you're like, hey, I want a provider. And anybody that's going to give you a hard time for that is projecting whatever insecurities that they have.
Right. Thank you. Amen, sister.
Hell
Thank
yeah.
you. It is definitely projection, because I've always had these standards. It's always been my preference. If you know me, that's always been my preference. But, you know, I feel like people want to come down on me for that. But like, guys, this is my life. I'm living my life. And the men that I date are fine with it. Like, they're literally okay with what I'm asking. That's why they're dating me. If they weren't okay with it, they wouldn't date me. Like, hello. And speaking of qualities, I didn't say any. One of the qualities, yes, he needs to be a provider type. He needs to be like a family man. He needs to want children, because I want children. I want 10. I want a water birth with 2 black doulas at home and just flushing it out in the kiddie pool. Like, that's what my life.
So detailed in this. This is incredible.
I have planned these water births since I was
I'm
like
gonna be between your legs with the
15.
camera. Like,
Literally,
I got your
a
angle.
whole production.
I got the
A whole production. There's gonna be a whole production.
Oh yeah, we're coming back to this studio. Jeff, you ready for us?
Literally, I'm planning like a whole production with me and my water burst and my 10 babies, with my 2 black doulas, having it naturally, doing the whole 9. So if you're a man who doesn't really want children, you're probably not a match for me. So like, that would be my, you know. And then also, this is really important. I am so about loyalty. Like, this man needs to, like, when we're in a room, when we're out in public, when we're around other people, he needs to be on my team. We need to be on the same side. My pet peeve is like, if we're in a room and we're gathered with a bunch of people, and there's an argument, like say I'm having an argument with someone in the room, and he's like taking their side in front of everybody, it makes us look weak. It makes us look divided. And I'm trying to be one with my person, like a partner, a family unit. It's like, I want to know that the person I'm with will always like have my back, take my side. And if he disagrees with me, he does it behind closed doors, and we can have that conversation within our relationship. Like, I don't want it to seem like we're you know, he doesn't really care about me that much, or we feel divided. Like, that doesn't need to be public knowledge. Like, he can deal with that with me behind closed doors. We don't need to do that in front of other people. And then also I need him to be honest. Like, I cannot deal with liars.
Honesty.
Literally, liars I can't deal with, because if you're lying to me, I feel like we have a fake relationship and nothing is really real. And I feel like that doesn't really, I can't trust you. I can't be in a relationship with you. You have to be completely 100,000% honest with me. And you have to share similar values to me, like spiritually, all of that, share similar values and like want similar things. Obviously, I feel like everybody's looking for that. Someone who like is 2 peas in the pod, but like, yeah, that's definitely like a big thing. I need to know that we're on the same team.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Because if it's meant to be, then it'll be a love song.